Hey y'all, so today I'm going to do another video in my Introduction to Reloading series. Basically the general gist of the series is answering questions in layman's terms for people just starting out into reloading, questions that I had 2 years ago when I just started reloading, and I'm trying to answer them again in layman's terms rather than there's a wealth of information on the internet about reloading, but I know a lot of it can get quite detailed and go quite nuts, down the rabbit hole. These are just videos designed to answer stuff in layman's terms and help out the new reloader, or someone perhaps thinking about getting into reloading, because it really is quite fun once you get it all figured out. Today's video is on bullets. Bullets can be kind of complicated because, again, you've figured out your press, you've got your all your setup, that's easy. Okay, I need brass, start saving my brass. Figure out your primers and everything. That's pretty simple. Just pick the primer you need. And then, you might even have your powder ready, because you can go buy a good book and, okay, I need this powder. This is what I want. Right? And you got to figure out, well, what the hell kind of bullet do I want? There's a million different options out there, and there's different styles and grain weights and, coatings. So I'm going to try and give a basic rundown of what's out there, at least what the major options are out there. And then I'm going to say what I consider to be my favorite. We're going to start out kind of cheapest to most expensive, and again, mileage may vary, but, generally, this is going to be cheapest to most expensive. We're going to start out with your plain old lead bullets. Now, these generally get lubricated. These are not actually currently lubricated. These I just have laying around for the video. But these are going to be your simplest of bullets and possibly your cheapest. The problem is what happens is they cannot be run real fast because it's just bare lead, or a lead mixture, tin and all that mixed in. What'll happen is if they're run too hot, to push too fast, they'll deform, they'll lead the barrel. You can run into issues. So they're good, they're cheap, but they're pretty much a plinker, at least in my book. Moving up, you have powder-coated lead bullets, and these are, and I'll come back to these afterwards, but these I'm real fond of because what it is it's basically your normal lead bullet. This is another, basically these were both 240 grain semi-wad cutters, but this one happens to be powder-coated. And the nice thing about these is this powder coating does two things. It lubricates the bullet to help it go down the barrel so they don't have to be lubricated like the bare lead ones do. I guess it does three things. It does three things. It lubricates the bullet. It seals the bullet so that it can be run a lot faster than a plain lead bullet. And also it makes them look cool. You notice here this is copper colored. There's a million websites out there. You can get these bullets in any color under the sun. Also, if you really want to, you can do it yourself. I've tried that a little bit. I'd recommend if you're gonna cast your own bullets and then powder coat them, do it outside because it can make a mess, and buy a separate toaster. That's all I'm going to say on that matter. So that's your next step up for that. Your next kind of bullet you can get like these is like Barry's bullets. Now Barry's bullets are really good, but they're generally going to be more expensive than your powder coated bullets. And the thing I've noticed is, at least for plinking, there's really not a whole big amount of benefit. Now you see here they make a ton of different varieties, right? This box used to be a 240 grain flat nose. It's not anymore. The box is empty. It's got something else in it. But you can see here they make a lot of generic shapes: round nose, flat point, some generic hollow point shapes, and then some semi-wad cutters and stuff. And they're decent bullets, but generally they're going to be more expensive than your powder coated lead bullets because they have to be plated and all that, and it's extra steps. But if that's what you're going for, if you don't want to have a plain lead bullet or a powder coated bullet, that's a nice option. In my experience, they can be run about the same speed, maybe a little bit faster than a powder coated bullet, but for plinking it's good. But again, I would probably still stick with the powder coated bullet. Finally, you've got kind of your high-end bullet right here. and this is definitely your most expensive of the bullets. This is Hornady XTP bullet, and basically anything main brand like this. This is like this is a good hollow point. You'll see here it says on the front here, designed for hunting, personal defense, law enforcement. You'll notice it doesn't say designed for plinking, designed for target shooting, because they're fairly expensive and they have a little bit better quality control than some of the other bullets, and they're really designed for something when you need to make the shots count. Again, hunting, personal defense, law enforcement. That's why you get a lot of self-defense rounds loaded with the Hornady XDP and different bullets like that. This is the kind of round you're going to buy after you've been reloading for a while, and maybe you decide, hey, I want to load hunting rounds for hunting, or I want to, dabble in loading self-defense rounds. Yes, someday I'm going to do a video on that, but basically this, I would not recommend this when you're just starting out, only because, your first bullets, you're going to be sending them through paper more often than not, and there's really no point to buying these to send them through paper, even though they're really cool bullets. Now, with all that, that's basically the general list. There is, again, there's more fancy bullets. You can get like the Lehigh Defense that are a pure copper bullet, stuff like that, and you get weird ass stuff out there. But generally, that's the gist of what's out there. Me personally, especially when you're just starting out, knowing that you're going to want to load up a bunch and you're going to want to go to the range, I recommend getting powder coated lead. It's cheap, they're clean to shoot, there is a million different options. There's just something cool about being able to pick out your own color. For instance, Acme bullets are usually all red. Gallant is usually either copper or black colored. Usually different companies have their own specific colors. You can get blues, greens, whatever. And it kind of makes reloading, it makes it a little fun having your own little color-coded bullets and all that. So I really recommend, if you're just starting out and you want a cheap lot of bullets, you can get 100 bullets or 500 bullets fairly cheap. 44 mag, nothing 44 mag is generally inexpensive, and especially if you wait for a free shipping or a coupon code, you can easily get 500 bullets for 50, 60 bucks or less, depending upon if you catch a sale or something, and that's pretty good. That's pretty good, all things considered. I'm pretty sure the two that I bought 200 of these XTPs, and I think that alone cost me like $40 or more. I forget what all it cost me, but they are not cheap. So that's kind of my video on bullets. Not super complicated, but can be a lot of fun picking out a bullet, deciding what you want to do with your reloading, and yeah. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask them, and have a good day.